Hi, everybody. This is Jake, and this is going to be the very first episode of Brain Snacks, a podcast put out by myself and my good friend Jose. It's just a couple of guys and a couple of mics having some conversation. So, without further ado, here it is.
Welcome everyone to our first attempt of a podcast.
Hey.
We don't really have anything to say, or we don't have a list. We don't have anything. This is literally our first attempt. I don't know. What do you have to say for?
We are completely unprepared for this.
Oh yeah, this our first time listeners. This is probably not gonna go to the world, but if it does, hello everyone.
Hello, and you're special.
Welcome to our new podcast that doesn't have a name, but hopefully when we release this, it actually has a name.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So we just finished our exams, and actually kind of our whole stint at Notre Dame, right?
Yeah. There's nothing else to do. I think we started the podcast a little too late because we won't be able to use this nice equipment any longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we started this a while ago, then the quality would be consistent over time until we had to leave Notre Dame. But this is our very last day at Notre Dame, so this is going to be an interesting change of pace too after this one day.
Oh yeah. It's perfect timing to get into this, but like even now I'm looking at like the waveform and I see like I hope that's like not clipping and it's gonna sound okay later, you know. Like when it clips it gets too loud and stuff. Yeah. So if it is, we're sorry.
That's probably your laughs too, or when I usually speak is when it goes really high up. I'm probably yelling. I'm not very used to speaking to microphones. This is like my very first time.
You gotta be gentle.
Yeah. I'm realizing that now. I see the waveforms too, and it's like I should modulate my voice a little bit lower so that people don't blow up.
It makes you a little self-conscious, doesn't it? You're like, that's what I sound like.
Yeah, it's horrible. Especially when I listen to myself, usually in like devices and stuff. It's just like, who is that person? Are we allowed to swear in this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So who the fuck is this person speaking to me? It doesn't really sound like me at all.
Yeah. It's a sad way of life, you know. It's never, you are never how you sound.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it happens to everybody. It's because your whole, like, you're getting all the frequencies that are vibrating your head, right? Versus only the frequencies that travel through the air. I don't know. It's like resonance and all that sort of, like, stuff.
But when you're listening through a microphone, like, sometimes they do... It's weird because I never actually think about listening to other people and comparing to how they actually sound.
Agreed.
So it's like, after this, I'm going to check how you sound and see how I sound. And maybe if you do sound like the person in the mic, like you're recording, then I probably do sound like that. And that'll be really weird. That's an experiment that we should do after the podcast.
Do what exactly?
Just listening to ourselves. Well, I'm going to be listening to you and then compare to your actual voice I hear like in a regular day.
Uh-huh.
And if it does sound similar.
Oh, through the mic.
Yeah, then if you sound similar, then I should sound similar to what I sound in there. So it should be a good comparison, I think.
Yeah, we could try it. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Well, there's definitely a lot of things to talk about, but nothing pops into my head right now.
The most important time is when nothing comes to your head, you know?
Yeah,
so.
I was thinking about it yesterday, too. It's like, I'm going to write a list of things to talk about in the podcast with Jake, but I don't know what to say. Like, I just said, I'll probably remember them. But as you know, my memory kind of sucks.
Yeah, so, but it's been getting better, guys. It really has. I've been with him since, for a couple years. Well, not with him, but we've been doing stuff together for, 2 years. And he was absolutely horrible. I remember he told me... the room number to a classroom that we were supposed to go to, and he's like, 257. I was like, okay, Jose. And I wait 10 seconds. I'm like, Jose, what room are we going to? He's like, I don't know. I have no idea. He's already forgotten.
But I'm getting better now. There's the chips we're using for senior design. Senior design is a class we're taking. We built a prosthetic hand for a little girl. The chips we're using for that is
it's helping you.
Yeah, I do remembering names or the code we use, because there's some parts that we need to be constantly sending between each other. And we usually do it via text because we're not smart to actually go online and look for one of those cool
apps things,
yeah,
or
websites that you can just pull and push and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
We should probably start doing that soonish.
Really should, and then like have a way to like have it more accessible, because I didn't like to Trello. Trello was more for like announcements and stuff. It really wasn't great for actual file sharing.
Yeah. You know? So we've been in this project for a full year now, and we have discussed a lot on what to use to actually communicate in between us, or like let people know what's going on, and like upload files and things we actually need for the project. But there's this one thing, Trello, that Jake is talking about, that we're giving him a free promo now, is it's a really good thing, but it's more for announcements. Like you have a card and then you can put comments on and stuff like that. So Trello, we're sending you an invoice later today.
Yep.
Thank you.
Not really. But yeah, everybody worked out pretty good. Like, you know, when you work on these projects, right, and you realize like, oh my gosh, I have a lot to do. Like, it makes like a lot of sense to like start like right away to try to make sure everybody's on the same page. And it's really hard, you know, like if you're part like of like maybe like a big family, or like even like friend groups, I've realized this, like sometimes it can be really hard to like make sure everybody's kind of like on the same page of what we're doing, like what like kind of like the atmosphere is, like do we have like, you know, all like the details and stuff. Like it's a lot. So like this project, you know, we were trying to make a per set of can for senior design, right? Something that kind of challenged us, right? Because it's still a class, and you're kind of supposed to demonstrate all that you've learned and that sort of stuff. So it was going to be hard, and it was me and Jose and then like 3 other fellows. And I know, just like right in the beginning, I was like, Jose, we need a way to make sure that we can all communicate. We understand what's going on, because like if I'm working on this thing over here and then like we're also working on it, like that's wasted time.
Yeah.
You know, so it's worked pretty good for like a lot of that sort of stuff. Like, guys, I finished this part. Here you go. Guys, I'm doing this, or you know, Alexis is working on this, or that sort of stuff. But file sharing, not so great. So Trello, work on that.
Yeah. What do you think about transferring here in Notre Dame instead of just coming here the whole time? Because in my experience, I didn't feel like I go here. Like I don't feel like I go here. I don't feel like I'm graduating from here. Just like everyone else has like their own little groups and like stuff like that. Everyone talks to everyone. Like not everyone to everyone, but like the small groups within the department, they talk between each other, and it's weird that like I feel like I'm an outsider. Like, and I don't feel like I can just join a conversation or something. It's like I need to like keep my apart. Like I don't feel like I've made a shit ton of friends. I feel like it was like basically you, and that's pretty much it.
Pretty much it.
Like the other people are probably like acquaintances and stuff, which is fine.
Well, shout out to Michael Skinner, best friend in the world. You know?
Shout out to Michael Skinner. But like by the end, I started making more friendship. I feel like when we were like crammed into that senior design room, I started talking to more people. Like Catherine Mary was always there, and like
she's a pretty fun chick.
Yeah, so we like always talked, and I don't know, about random stuff. It was probably me just going off on something, and she just listening and thinking, "Oh, they just shut up right now."
Wow, your grandpa owns an island.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's just probably just thinking like, "Oh, just shut up. I don't give a shit." But it is what I would think if I listened to myself speaking. It would be like, "Oh my god, I don't give a shit about what you were telling me." But because like if I were to listen to myself speaking, like right now we're doing, I'll probably think, oh, why is he telling me this? Who gives a shit about this stuff? Which is kind of interesting to think, because we're making a podcast now, and my main thought, I do like listening to podcasts, which is interesting, because the podcasts I listen to are mostly comedy or really, really like history related. So I listen to like the David Dobrik podcast, that it's pure comedy, and it's basically what we're doing, just talking shit. They have like a list of words, and they just have to go through them and stuff like that.
Oh wow, okay.
And then I listen to Revisionist History, which is amazing, which revisits parts of history that people didn't actually analyze the right way, or stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And that one's really interesting. So the David Dobrik one is 2 people. That one's just one, and there's a lot of editing. And then the David Dobrik one, there's no editing at all.
So this one will be one of the no edited podcasts.
Yeah. So if we don't edit, we have a lot more time to do other stuff, and that could be one thing. We could edit and just chop up stuff that we don't actually need, like when we were talking shit about some of our group mates.
Yeah. That may or may not be cut.
Yeah.
So, and Yeah, I don't know. I like podcasts too. I think we've talked about the revisionist one. I've kind of always forgotten which one exactly it is. So maybe this time I will remember and like go look it up. So,
well, what did you feel about transferring here? How does it feel for you?
Kind of feel like how you feel, right? So it seems like, which is kind of weird to think about the timing of it all. But we came in after spending 3 years, right? 3 years for you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we spent 3 years at a different college, not the same one. Jose's from out east, Stonehill, right?
Yep.
And then I went to Bethel College, which is a little local college right in Mishawaka. So we spent 3 years there, and then we transferred in really kind of, in a senior year thing, but we came in here as juniors.
Yep.
So we were kind of a little older for our class and had some extra classes here and there and stuff. So a little bit different situation, and that's actually how we met. Like I think day one, four transfers in the EE department, and then you were there and 2 other guys. So.
But we were the only 3-2 students in that transfer thing.
We were. I think the other ones, they were actually sophomores.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Yeah.
I think we saw maybe once or twice in a different class. But I felt kind of like how you feel, But then again, like I wanted to do all the clubs and stuff here more, but I just didn't really make the time or have as much time as I would have liked to do some of that stuff. And I think that would have helped a lot, But in terms of like making like those like friend groups that you go to dinner with like all the time, like I know all the other EEs too and stuff. Like Alexis, he was just talking, he was getting dinner and stuff, talking about a freaking 200-page report. Oh my lord!
Yeah,
I don't know where that number came from.
For a final report, I think we had like 8 pages, 9 pages. And they were talking about the final report being 200 pages, which is not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
But yeah,
not this semester.
Yeah, that is interesting because having food with like classmates, I only had food with you.
Yeah.
Never went with someone like from Notre Dame. I did went with like the Stonehill kids that transferred in, but never went with the people from Notre Dame. I never did anything.
You guys can write in and tell us if we're missing much,
Yeah.
But I wish I would have had a little bit more of a group like that because I did a little bit more of that at Bethel, but not actually a ton more. Because classes, things don't line up so well, and how much time do you actually want to spend getting lunch and socializing? So, coming in with only 2 years, it's like I definitely wish I would have been here more. Like if I could have come to Notre Dame like right away.
I would have done it 100%.
I would have done it. I don't know if I would have got in because I need to kind of like prove myself through Bethel first because I was a little homeschooler, in case you guys don't know, and you probably won't. But
that's probably why he's so awkward right now in the microphone.
I'm very awkward, right? So we definitely wish I would have come here, just like for like to have the access to like all the facilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like you do, I think, make those groups kind of like in your sophomore year after you kind of get through some of those general classes, and then people kind of decide their majors and stuff, and because I don't know, it could have been a good time. We still had a good time. Like it was fun to meet those people and stuff. So
yeah, I think it was interesting because at Stonehill, when I was there, I did feel like Stonehill, but then I returned for my graduation last year, and I felt so out of place too.
Did you?
Like, yeah, so it was weird because I'm neither here or there because I don't feel like in place here. Then I went back thinking that I was gonna feel like, oh, this is my place. I know these people, but I was like, oh my god, what's happening? This is not the thing I was expecting at all. So it is weird. It is a weird transition. So if you can, do not transfer.
Yeah, I wouldn't go into college planning to transfer so much.
Yeah.
If you can, try to go to the school that you want to, try to know what sort of major that you want to kind of going in, but you can also explore and stuff, but don't I would not plan on transferring so much. I think you get more out of being at one school.
It's interesting that everything college is for most people is just getting that piece of paper and then leaving, which is interesting because there's not a lot of like learning process in between for some of the majors that we're not gonna go into because I don't want to make anyone feel bad, but there's some people that just come, get the piece of paper just because of the name of the school, and then leave. And those people usually do have a bunch of friends and stuff, but I think it's just because they're trying to make connections. It's not actually making friends.
You think so?
Some of the I feel like some of the people, if you see them, if you're walking by and then just see someone, and you're just like, oh, that motherfucker definitely just doesn't give a shit about his friends, which is interesting. Or when you go out too, just like to a bar and stuff around here, you see a bunch of people that just, I don't know, it's just interesting to say something.
I don't know. I don't pick up on that so much, you know. I mean, I'm just usually going about my business, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake has real tunnel vision kind of thing. It's amazing. We're sitting in front of him, and we've been texting to like meet up or something. I'm sitting right in front of him, and he just passes by, just looking, kind of wondering about who knows where. He doesn't see me. I'm like right in front of him. I don't understand what's happening. It's just tunnel vision kind of thing.
Was that today?
It's always.
Yeah, I do that a lot. I also have pretty bad vision, and now it's horrible because my contacts broke the other day.
Oh my god!
So I am out of luck in the vision department. But yeah, I do focus. Especially if I have my music in.
Yeah.
You know, then I got that to listen to and all that stuff. So
I think I have pretty good vision, but when I do think I need to go to get my eyes seen or something, because I always feel the need to scratch them, because like I feel like something is happening in my eyes, so I always feel the need to scratch them, and I've been scratching them over and over again, and that cannot be good for my eye.
Probably not.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to that.
So they feel itchy?
Well, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It just feels like it feels like itchy when I like, or like I blink, and then I just see something. It looks horrible. It looks really weird. And then I was like, and keep doing that over. Yeah, wipe and wipe. I keep doing that over and over again. It just must have destroyed something, because little by little I can see less and less. But I can still see like perfectly. I think perfectly. But because I don't know anything better, I think I've never gone to like an eye exam or anything. So
that is true. You know, that is a sad fact of life, where it's like you don't know what you don't have. And vision was one of them. So I needed actually like glasses for like a long time, probably since I was like a teenager. I didn't know any better, so I'm like always squinting at things. And like finally, you know, my mom was like, "Why are you squinting so much?" You know, and then and then after that, I think I was the one that started it out. After that, then whenever my mom said that about to any of my other siblings or whatever, they're like, "I'm not squinting," because like they were like, "I don't want to get glasses," you know. I'm fine. I'm just squinting, you know, for like no reason. But I don't know. Maybe you should get it looked at. I'm thinking about getting the surgery or whatever. Man.
My dad got the surgery, and he says it's the best thing that has ever happened to him. He doesn't have to wear glasses for reading. No, he has to wear glasses for reading, but not for anything else.
He does. Oh.
So because he has really bad vision.
Okay.
So like whenever he was driving and stuff like that, he did need glasses to see. And he also needed different kind of glasses to read, because he had both you cannot see from far away and you cannot see from close away, so he had both of them.
Oh, the bifocals, I think, right?
Yeah. So, and he never bought expensive glasses or anything, so he just bought once for reading, once for driving, once for like writing stuff. I don't know. So it was weird. He had a bunch of different glasses, and he liked those ones that just you can fold up. So those are not very good types of glasses. They're just the ones that you buy at CVS or at Target or whatever. So those are pretty bad. And he said, "I'm just gonna get the surgery, so I only need one of them." And that's what happened. Now he only uses them to read at night. Also, that he can be in front of a computer during the day and do his work fine without glasses, but then at night he just needs a little bit of help.
Is that for like lighting, or is that just for focusing?
I think it's for focusing. Yeah, because lighting is not an issue.
Okay.
I remember he got the surgery. It was a pretty fast surgery too. It was done with a laser. It wasn't done with like the.
Aren't they usually done with a laser? LASIK or whatever?
I don't know. My grandpa got one too, and it was like 2 days with an eye patch, and then after that it was perfect.
Okay.
It was amazing. That was really interesting too. I thought like for the eyes you had to be very careful and like keep it closed for a while and stuff.
I think so. I think we talked to Fabio, said that he had the surgery at some point. So he was telling us during this semester how he had that, and how he had to wait for a couple days and stuff like that. I know that'd be nice, but I thought you didn't need glasses after you got it. I might have to look into that, because then I don't know if it's worth it.
No, yeah, he said that he needed to choose between one or the other. You can fix something, but you cannot fix both.
Oh, okay. So, okay, if you had like a nearsightedness or farsightedness, LASIK probably would fix it, but because he had both.
Yeah, he had to choose.
Legally blind, basically.
Yeah, he had to choose one of them. But,
okay.
Maybe it's the same thing for you. Maybe it's not. I would look into it before getting the surgery.
Yeah, and just go to the photonics lab and put a laser in your eye.
Yeah, just look at the high-powered laser directly to the eye. Oh, that would hurt a lot. No, it would probably not hurt. It would just make you blind.
Yeah, kill everything. You know, you wouldn't even feel it.
But I don't understand that thing when there's a solar eclipse. I always looked at the sun and I never went blind. I don't know what the hell they were talking about.
Maybe that's where your eyes are scratchy.
Oh, maybe. But like, it was. I don't know. That's just bullshit. If there's a solar eclipse near you and you're able to look at it, just look at it directly. It doesn't do anything to your eyes. I can still see perfectly. I didn't go blind and I looked at it for more than 10 seconds. So that is a bullshit. That is some fake facts.
I don't condone this. That's Jose, man.
If you do, we're not legally binded to your surgeries or anything. This is just stunts were performed by professionals in this case.
Yeah, professionals.
Yeah.
The solar eclipse. That's when the moon eclipses gets in the way of the sun.
I think it's like midday and then it just turns night because the moon goes in front of the sun. Okay.
But like both types are dangerous, right? Because one is like.
Well, no, one's the red moon, right?
One's when the
moon just goes red. I don't know.
Well, that's just the harvest moon.
Right? I don't know what. There's one at night that doesn't really make sense to me. The solar eclipse is when the sun is in front of the sun is behind the moon and then it's midday.
That's the main one, right?
Yeah, but the other way around it doesn't make sense. What is it? It's the Earth is in front of the moon? But that's just the moon that you cannot see because the Earth is covering the light from the sun. So I don't know what the other one means.
Yeah, because the lunar eclipse.
Yeah. What the fuck is a lunar eclipse? Let's Google it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is a lunar eclipse? You can keep talking.
Yeah, I mean, but wouldn't both of them be dangerous, though? I guess not if you were looking at the moon, which is on the other side of the Earth. I don't know. Did you ever end up watching that Timelapse of the Universe movie?
Oh, no, but I got stressed. I started it, but like 10 minutes into it, I was like, oh my god, I'm getting stressed. This is too much.
I love that video. Like, it's so... I don't know how factual it is. I'd be really curious to like talk to the guy and figure out like where he got like all that information. I listen to the soundtrack literally as I'm walking, like especially like during exam week, you know. Yeah. And it's got like this tense music in the beginning, or like I don't know what the song is, but like really like tense like stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, the world is ending one day. I gotta get my exams done, you know. And it's like oddly motivating, you know, because it's like. The universe is going to end one day, and I only have, like, a short blip in time to actually, like, do anything on this Earth, you know, before the Earth blows up.
Yeah, but probably nothing. It's not going to matter what you do, so that could be depressing at the same time.
It's very interesting to be both motivated and depressed at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
I think it depends on how you see it. It depends on what type of personality, half full, half empty kind of person kind of thing. I think it's interesting. I just think that you have to do as much as you can, but at the end, it's not going to really matter.
So... Would you say you're more of a glass half empty?
I think I'm half empty. Like,
okay.
I feel like I don't know. It's weird. It's just it is going to end. I do want to like. I don't want to be one of those people that just like lay around. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna die anyway, so I might as well not do anything. Mm-hmm. So like my time being here, like try to help people. For example, it would be pretty cool because it's not just you, but you're like there's more people, and people are gonna be like the prosthetic thing we're doing. If we help someone, then that someone can help someone else and stuff like that. And it's not just you. You leave a legacy kind of thing. Mm-hmm. People are probably not going to even know your name or anything, but who gives a shit? You're going to be dead. So who gives a shit if you don't even know your name or not? But that weird, it's like a weird satisfaction kind of thing that when you die, there's something going to be here that you made. Mm-hmm. That's probably going to at some point end, but that helps something that probably puts something else into motion that it keeps going.
That is pretty cool. Like, I think that's what's really cool, and that's what family stuff gets at, right? Is like leaving your legacy. But like, I think like especially like the projects and like your work and stuff like that is huge. And I heard actually kind of a cool, I'm going to call it fact. I'm pretty sure it was a statistic from like a reputable person, but it was like a psychologist, and he said something like, in your lifetime, I think he's like you can reach, and that's just I think this was the number like. You can reach like 1,000 people. Like you'll know 1,000 people. I think is what it was, right? And that's kind of reasonable. It's like I know people like have thousands of Facebook friends, but like let's just say you reasonably know them well. Like friends here, friends there, that sort of stuff. So you kind of like impact them in some way. And he's like, now think about how each person knows 1,000 people.
Yeah.
So like even just one chain removed, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but like you affecting 1,000 people who each in turn affect 1,000 people effectively gives you like a reach of like, it was like 1 million or something, because it's like 1,000 times 1,000.
Yeah.
So like even just like knowing half of that,
Yeah.
you know, your reach is incredible. And like I think he was talking about that because he was trying to like drive home a point of like how connected people are and how we should be united, you know, and like how your life like isn't insignificant. You know, people are like, I'm just one person, what can I do? He's like, well, if you talk to 20 people and you know, if you put into them, you know, something, and then they go on and they put into 20 other people, you know, and then, or even more, you know, larger numbers, you know, it's the reach is huge. And I actually thought that was really kind of like a good way to look at things, you know, because it seems like, you know, we're always trying to like break people up into groups, like, you know, the personality test, schools, sports, like, you know, we like the grouping, and it is fun, you know, being on your own team and stuff like that, you know, because like people can understand that we don't know what it means to be a part of a group that's like of like 100,000 people, right? It's like, I don't know what that means, you know, how many people is that? But you understand, you know, a team of 20.
Yeah.
So, but when you think about like kind of like the important stuff, it's like, wow, that's what I can reach. And so like the hand thing, that's what came to mind. It was like, wow, like just doing what we can here, you know, and like maybe talking to like 10 people that can, you know, get it out. It's like, just think of like how many people they can also like talk to and say like, hey, listen, this helped me, and maybe we can help you. And
it's also interesting because if you think about it, everything, even though like we're talking about like helping other people and stuff, it's individualistic, because what it's actually doing is like giving you a peace of mind, like thinking, oh, this makes me calm, this is good, and the only thing why you're doing it's like, oh, to have a legacy or like stuff like that, which is individualistic in like itself. But it's interesting that something that you can do to help other people becomes individualistic at the same time, because it like helps everyone. It's not like you're not doing it 100% to help yourself, but you're kind of doing it to help yourself. It's like, oh, when I die, this is going to keep going, and I'm going to be helping other people, and that makes you feel comfortable. And that is why, it's probably not why you're doing, but it's one of the reasons that you feel good about it. It's because it makes you comfortable about dying, for example.
right.
And then the grouping thing, in my psychology class, we did look into the grouping kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it is really interesting. So there's this test or experiment I think they did somewhere in the world. And what they do is just go to different people and tell them, you're group 1, you're group 2, you're group 1, you're group 2. And like with no basis or anything, they make them take a test, but they don't actually look at the scientists don't actually look at the test. They just like, oh, it's a personality test or whatever, and they divide you into 2 different groups, and they bring you into a room, and the researcher grabs one of the persons in the group and takes them away, and it's like, oh yeah, this was a paid thing, so I'll give you the money, and then you can just give it away to the people as how you like. And that person that gets the money to give around to the people gives more money to the people in his group than the other people in different groups. So if you were group 1 and he was group 1, he'll give you more money than people in the other groups, which is really interesting because there's no basis or anything. They were just told, you're group 1, you're group 2, you're group 1, you're group 2. And you tend to benefit the people in your group and then tend to see as less as people outside of your group, which is really interesting with like the, I don't know, how your mind works in that aspect.
Yeah.
Because it also, when you belong to a group, the differences within the group seem very, very different. Like if you are, like if I am Latino, so I'm Latino, I see another Latino and I see him completely different from me. But then I see a white person and they all seem the same, which doesn't actually make sense because I consider myself kind of white. Like if you saw me like walking on the street, you probably wouldn't know I'm Latino unless I started speaking because of my accent.
Yeah, you could pass pretty well.
Yeah, and like in El Salvador, people speak to me in English and stuff like that, which is weird because in El Salvador we speak Spanish, but when they see me, like, or I'm in the airport, everyone talks to me in English. It's like, hey, I'm Salvadorian too. I speak Spanish. Don't worry about it. So it's weird like that. Like, yeah, I see the difference within group differences very different, like very big, and then out of group differences are very, very connected and more. I tend to see more the stereotypes than not like the other stuff. So it's really interesting that is happening. Like, why is your mind doing that? I do not know. It's just crazy what's happening in there, and it would be really interesting to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be something like how your brain just has like a limited sort of like ability, right, to like understand like the number, for example. It's like you can say, like, tell me 100,000. I know how much money that is, like what they can give me, but I really don't know, like, if I had to count it, how many things that is.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's the same things with like well, race and that sort of thing, and you know, attributes. It's just kind of like you don't grow up picking out the differences, right, as much.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't see them as often.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting too that like those differences, like when you actually start thinking about it, you do start noticing the differences. Like with out of group things, it's like, oh wow, this person is nothing alike, like the stereotype kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, oh my god, what like your world crashes. And then in that psychology class, they said that one of the reasons you do the grouping and like in-group differences and out-of-group differences are like that is just to keep like your resources conserved. It's one of the theories because no one actually knows what's going on. But yeah. So one of the theories is like to keep your resources conserved. So when you're concentrated in something and you have like background noise or something else, then you do concentrate on that one thing, but you're still listening to the other. But you're trying to conserve resources, so you just create kind of just like a general idea of what that other thing is. So if you do the same with people, you don't actually have to be thinking, oh, this person is white, so he has to do this, this, and this, and this. Mm-hmm. Well, you are thinking that. He has to be this, this, and this, and this. You don't give it any more thought. But if you concentrate, you see the person, it's like, oh, he definitely does not follow this, or this, or this, or this. So it's really interesting how, like, you think about someone and how someone actually behaves. And it's just resource conservation within your body, which is... yeah, crazy.
I love that sort of stuff, like the psychology and the neuroscience. It seems like you really like it too, and it seems like you really love this class.
Yeah, that class was really interesting.
Yeah,
it was. I didn't expect it to be that interesting. I do think I love stuff with the mind. That's why we're doing the hand thing and like gathering signals from the brain and stuff like that. I've always wanted to map something, like someone, and put them in a computer and talk to them. Like all of my projects here at Notre Dame,
like The Sims or whatever.
Yeah, but like an actual conscious.
Oh, okay.
So all of my projects here at Notre Dame, the computer science department or the electrical engineering department, have been trying to make that. Do you remember that one project I had where I made that you input your text messages and it responds as if it is the person you're texting?
I do remember that. How did that turn out? Like, did it?
Well, it was basically hard coded at the last.
At the final iteration.
Yeah, the final iteration. Because I was trying to gather all the text messages, and then if the text message is different from one there is, then it just creates like a new box and then puts the answer that the other person would give. Mm-hmm. So it's basically just a question and answer kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But so if you asked a question that looked similar to the ones that were already recorded, then it would have a list of answers that person would have... Like if I've asked you, how are you, 25 days differently, you probably have sent different answers. So those were all categorized under the same how are you kind of thing. So when the person asks how are you, then it would just go there and then choose one randomly. And then that is one issue now, that chooses one randomly is not actually thinking about it. But now after my neural networks and my machine learning classes, I probably could do one that's a lot more advanced and actually learns how the person thinks.
That'd be really cool. You have a lot of cool projects, guys. That's one of our things. It's like love to like start up new stuff. So right now, I don't know. Should we talk about the hand thing, like in more detail, or no?
Sure.
Okay. So the senior design project that is this prosthetic hand, right? When we were working on it, we started to think like maybe we can do something more with it, like in terms of a startup, right? So it's a EMG-enabled myoelectric hand. I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details and stuff like that, but essentially you can control it with your mind. If maybe you've seen YouTube's videos and stuff like that, you control it with your mind, and we can do one for pretty cheap for fairly good quality. So we're kind of exploring to see like what sort of options we have to actually kind of make a product out of that. But there's like so many things that we'd like to do, like side stuff, like even just within that, we were talking about, making, phantom arms, exoskeletons, and then, this, cool, like sort of algorithms, like, you never know where this stuff could be useful. I want to do like a lot more now, and I feel like really good about it, like in terms of doing like electronic stuff.
Yeah.
Because, well, now we've like done a whole lot, so it'd be like really cool to do like more like advanced stuff. Like I mean, that car project, did you see that? Like measuring something like on that scale, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, that sort of bot, or like, you know, the arm thing that we were talking about with Professor Howard. Man, it'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things to do, and there's a little time because we're both starting our jobs. Well, whatever happened with your job thing? Did you?
Yeah, so I did accept the position, and I'll be starting sometime. Well, I haven't had the final conversation yet because he's been gone. My boss has been gone. So we'll talk about what's up, but it sounds like he was like open to me starting whenever, because I think originally he was gonna have me start like in June or something.
Okay.
That anyhow. So I'll start hopefully later when you are heading off. So, but yeah, we both got our jobs, so like there's a limited time to actually do this hand thing. So
Yeah.
At some point in the future, if we like this podcasting thing, then we'll have to do it over the air, you know, or over the airwaves, as they say. If they say that, do they say that?
I don't know.
I think it's a song, Airwaves by Angels in Airwaves or something. It was on Band Hero. It was a really good song. So I played it a lot. High score.
Yeah, I think I don't know if we're gonna end up uploading this one, but if we keep doing this, we're probably gonna get used to it, which is gonna be just like a reflex, just coming here, talking for 40 minutes, and then leaving, or whatever amount of time we're gonna actually do. And then that would be pretty cool, because if we actually get a listening, then we could be just talking to a bunch of people that cannot talk to us back, which is my dream. I'm just kidding. If you want to talk to us, you can tweet us at, I don't remember my tweet, or my Instagram or anything. I don't really know. I just choose the one that's available or that comes to my mind at the time. But yeah, that could be a way of like back and forth. But other than that, it would be pretty much just us talking to each other about things that hopefully people like.
Yeah, are interested in, you know.
And hopefully make money. This is the reason why we're doing this, just to make a shit ton of money out of this one.
Because you can totally make a ton of money doing a podcast.
I've heard some people do a lot of money making podcasts.
Well, you know, the Joe Rogan one, I think that's probably the biggest one. He also does YouTube and stuff like that. Oh, he probably makes so much money. You know, it's like the #1 podcast. That's got to be pretty cool. And he interviews like a ton of really interesting people.
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson was there a couple months ago.
He's washed out.
No, but it was really cool. Imagine did he interview Elon Musk? Yeah, he had Elon Musk in there too.
Elon Musk? Oh, yes, he did. And he was smoking weed.
Yeah, I know.
During that one, so everyone's like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know.
Yeah,
he's a pretty cool guy, I think. So.
It would be interesting to have guests in here.
Well, we're gonna have guests. We're gonna have Federico.
Well, yeah, Fede, but then the cool guests, like actually, like my.
Don't listen, Federico.
Yeah, sorry, cool. Fede, but like my psychology professor, he could probably have a very good 40-minute kind of thing, just going himself speaking, and we just like kind of have one question at the beginning, and he just goes and goes and goes and goes.
Like a whole class period. Or...
Yeah, like a whole class period. Like professors would be pretty good. Some professors would be pretty good at podcasting. I feel like specific topics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they have a full semester, like 3 classes a week for, 6 months? Maybe a little less than 6 months because of the breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So for like 3 months at least.
They're just going through the motions.
Yeah, and that would be pretty interesting.
I do like talking to him, you know, like the bioengineering professor I had, like he was always really cool to talk to. He was doing cool stuff. Like I remember him telling me about his the intermittent fasting. He's talking about his experience with that. I was like, that's really cool. And like this was like from a biology guy, you know, who thought there was something in it, because I've heard all sorts of things where it's like, yeah, it's really great, and then other things where it's like not really doing anything useful. So this was kind of interesting to hear how he said that, and he said he was more mentally aware. Maybe I should do that
after intermittent fasting.
Yeah,
but what is that? Well, people always talk about intermittent fasting, but is it just like you start eating food later in the day?
Well, it depends on your schedule. I think usually people will do something like where they fast, right, where they don't really eat any food for a certain amount of time, and usually, from what I've heard, it's like 2 days out of the week, 2 or 3 days, and it's for, let's say, 8 hours. So maybe they don't eat any breakfast or any lunch, and they come home, they eat like a dinner, or they eat a very light dinner. Like goes on and off. Like I'm trying to remember what he said he did. I think he did like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, and he like ate just very like minimal like at dinner that day. And he said like during those days he felt more like mentally like
coherent or aware or something. So it's just not really eating for a certain period of time. It's supposed to do like all this weird biology stuff where because you're not eating, your body goes to like your fat reserves or something. I can't even explain it very well. Whoever knows about intermittent fasting, please write in and explain it for me. Thank you. So, and then Jose, you go and read.
Yeah, send it to us at jcapop.
No, scratch that out. You know, that's well, if you're cute, you know.
If you're cute, but it's weird now that I'm thinking about it. I do that a couple of times a week too. I don't eat until dinner.
Yeah, I don't do it on purpose.
Yeah, I don't do it on purpose, and I do feel more self-aware some days. You know, it's like, oh wow, yeah, I'm alive, and like when I'm driving, I see my eye sockets and stuff like that. It's just like, oh my god, I'm actually like a brain inside of like a body. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, whoa, what is happening? I do feel more self-aware, but I don't know if I can correlate it to those days that I do fasting.
It'd be interesting to pay attention because, like, what if it really just comes down to, oh my gosh, I'm freaking hungry. And then you're just like, I can't go to sleep. I can't do anything else. I just have to focus on what I'm doing because I want to get to food, you know? So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think the one doctor channel that I like on YouTube, I usually I've been having like one channel for each sort of topic because like now it seems like there's like so many. I know. You know, like, but Dr. Mike for doctor stuff, pretty fun like channel, you know, like seems like he's really smart and stuff. And I think he did a stint about intermittent fasting. And I think he kind of approved.
Really?
You know, he's like, yeah, it's not going to really hurt anything, I thought he said. Mm-hmm. And there are some benefits here and there. And, you know, maybe it isn't even like the fasting itself. I'm trying to remember what he said. He said maybe it wasn't even about the fasting itself. It might be the fact that you're just planning more, you know, which I think is being aware of what you're eating is probably huge. Like, just like, you know, being aware of what you actually eat in terms of calories, like that's huge. Even if you don't like start lifting weights, if you're trying to like say lose weight, right? Just like being aware of what you're eating and like kind of what that is going to do for you is like already like a huge step. And like, in my opinion, from what I've heard and like from what I've seen from people, it's like if you don't have like the eating stuff right, then the weightlifting and stuff isn't really gonna ever help you like long term, you know. So you know, I think the intermittent fasting may be good for that reason, where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna eat, and then it's like self-control too. Yeah. You know, because it's really easy to eat like a whole box of Cheez-Its and like, consume like 2,000 calories. Not that I've ever done that, people. You know, multiple times.
In a day.
In a day. I was surprised of it as a child. Okay, so I was surprised a lot. Yeah. No tomato soup. I like tomato soup. I've never really had that.
Why?
I don't know. We had macaroni and cheese a lot. And now I don't really eat that.
Tortilla soup. That one's amazing.
What's that?
You never had tortilla soup?
Tortilla?
Yeah.
Like isn't the taco thing?
Yeah.
What is it? It's a soup now?
Oh, it has always been a soup. It's amazing. It's like chicken and then it has tortilla as well. And it's just so good. You should go. They have it at McAllister's. We'll plug McAllister here. We're sending you an invoice as well, McAllister. No, yeah, at McAllister's, or there's a really good one at Panera too.
Panera.
Those soup.
Is it continuous? Because I thought Panera switched out their soups. I don't go there very often.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been. I don't know if it's continuous actually, but I've been there a couple of times in separate periods of time, and they always have the same one.
Tortilla soup.
They have this lentil soup too at Panera. I recommend. It's vegan, but it's really good. Usually I associate vegan with shit food.
Sorry, vegan people.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you eat shit.
Vegan. Well, vegan.
That's
you don't worse. Eat... That's worse than vegetarian.
Yeah, you don't eat any animal related products, like no cheese. Maybe if it's like almond cheese, but I don't know if you can make almond cheese.
That'd be so weird. Hey, we're patenting that. No one can steal that.
Yeah, almond cheese. That's ours. We're gonna make a show like Good Mythical Morning, and we're gonna call it Can You Cheese It? And we're gonna try to cheese different stuff. That'd be interesting.
That would be cool. You know what? I never did it, but I've always ever since they always like taste the sour foods, whatever.
Yeah.
I've wanted to do that with like my friends and family. Like I was so close to doing it with people at Bethel, getting those umeboshi plums.
Mm-hmm.
Plums.
Yeah.
The really sour ones, and then having people try it like that, because I'm like, that's
if that's not a bonding experience, I don't know what is. When everybody's in pain and ready to cut their time out together, you know, that's like stronger than any sort of.
And that I think that is one of the groupings together. If you're being all in pain, then you tie it together strong, like more strongly.
Yeah,
stronger.
Yeah, stronger, right?
Yeah, so your ties become stronger. Like within group ties become stronger. Which is interesting. Yeah. When in the class they referred back to when African Americans were being like killed off and like or like auctioned off in order to be killed and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And like within group like tightness was huge at that point. Or when Catholics were prosecuted in Spain in the Civil War, the Catholic groups became a lot tighter too, which is interesting because the other people are trying to get rid of them and they're just joining even stronger together.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. Like it's a little sad that like that's what it takes for people to like.
Oh yeah.
Actually bond together, you know. So I'm more of a glass half full sort of person, but there are some things that I really want to be hopeful for, and like that's one where it's like, you know, it's like I don't believe that people have to go through adversity to like have a deep bond, you know.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, like I see that happen a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and. Like when people talk about faith and stuff like that, especially like Christianity, right? That's what I know. When people go through hard times, they come out like even better. When you lose a family member, it's really hard, but like oftentimes you learn something and like you get better.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, right? So that's one thing. You know, I don't know. There's so many things, but so just to clarify, guys, we are condoning violence.
Yeah.
So get into fights with each other, beat each other up. You will feel better for it. Okay, you will be having better friends. So
probably not the person you're fighting, but the person who's being beat up is probably going to be better friends with someone else who got beat up by you.
That's true.
So the lesson here is go beat up a bunch of people and they'll be better friends. You're probably going to die alone after. Because the other people you beat up are going to be really good friends between them.
That's true. So essentially, we are Thanos. Okay. So we condone Thanos' plan. We thought that was a great plan.
What do you think about that movie?
Infinity War?
Infinity War and Endgame. Okay. Like the two of them together.
So I think Infinity War was like amazing.
Yeah.
And I think Thanos was like really compelling, like really like interesting setup, and like you know, obviously it's still kind of a horrible thing, but like I'm on board with it, kind of at least for like a villain plan. It's a good like plan because like you can see like the logic in it and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And like you can see how it could work. The second one, they kind of it's kind of weird. The first half, they're like, yeah, look, it worked, and he's totally happy. Like he wasn't just like a megalomaniac, which is like really good for his character. But then they kind of went back and they said like, oh no, he's kind of like a megalomaniac lunatic who just wants to kill things because it's fun, you know. And like that was a little sad, but I think Infinity War is my favorite. We were watching a little bit of it. The imaging, like and stuff, like there was just some scenes where it's just like so good. Like the opening is crazy, you know. And then so spoiler alerts, I guess we should say, if this ever goes on the air.
We're gonna be speaking about spoilers for the next 2 minutes and nothing more.
Nothing more.
So if you listen to this, start counting 2 minutes as of now. Go check it.
Now. So I think both films are really great. To pull off something like on that scale with all those different heroes and all the different like timelines and stuff, I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
Really good. I think they wrapped up a lot of the storylines pretty well, right? I was a little bit confused by how Thor went.
Oh yeah.
I actually haven't really heard you talk about this stuff so much, so I'm kind of curious. But like, I thought Iron Man ended pretty well. Like I was really beat up by that, you know.
Yeah.
And then Captain America, I think it made sense because that's what he's been going for this entire time. He could never like let someone else be like the main shield, right? Like he's always like sacrificing himself, becoming like allowing himself to be branded a criminal and stuff. So I think it was really kind of a nice on that note to say like, you know, I've done like my job in a way and I'm passing it on, you know, because like they've been going on a long time. Him and Iron Man were like two people that sacrificed a lot of themselves.
Yeah.
And Iron Man made the big sacrifice, you know, and then Captain there. It was nice to see him kind of have a resolution. Thor, I don't know where his thing went, and I think we've said like
I'm on the fence about that, just because, the last two movies or last three, I never really felt like he was having like recurring troubles of like, I can't lead these people. Like, I thought the last one, he did a really good job, right? He came back, he realized that the kingdom is all about the people, right? And that it's not a place, right? And that he needs to protect the people, and they were all on board. And like, it seemed like they were good. They were going to be a good kingdom, and he was going to lead them somewhere. And then all of a sudden, a movie later, he's like, I'm terrible. I can't lead you people. Girl who's never led anybody before.
Yeah.
I don't remember the storyline too well, but I thought she was a military girl in the Valkyrie people. And he's like, you lead them. So apparently leading them in the fish village, I guess she was doing a lot, maybe. But I thought that was kind of weird for him, because now he's just going to walk around being a drunk, finding himself or whatever. I didn't really think that was his last theme.
Yeah, so. It was weird. I feel like has been a really round character, because he started on the first Thor movie as being just kind of there, and like the rebel kind of thing that wasn't even worth of his own hammer kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And then started moving towards being great, like an Odin kind of person, right? Like the following films, it was him like actually being involved and thinking about and like going through struggles to like become better, and then it just went downhill like right after. But I guess it is like a pretty big death. Like half of the universe is gone, so it's a pretty big hit. And Tony was kind of the same at the beginning too. Like, I don't want to do anything anymore. Like, this is my thing now. But I really thought that was interesting. But Thor, like Iron Man came around, and like if you haven't seen Iron Man 1, Tony Stark is Iron Man. I'm sorry.
Wow, whoa, big spoiler.
Big spoiler, yeah. So like, coming around, like he died for the team and everything. Thor was fighting and everything again at the end of that battle, but I don't know. It's just, I don't know why they had. I think it was a joke made by the directors, but it went too far, like with too long in the movie. It should have gone like the beer belly should have gone away when he got Mjolnir again and just like became Thor again.
Nobody likes Fat Thor.
Yeah,
basically.
no one knows. It was a funny joke at the beginning for a couple of scenes, maybe, but not the full 3 hours of the movie. Yeah. And then you see he was wearing Crocs at some point in that movie. It was amazing. That
Crocs
was
in
fun.
Fortnite.
Yeah, playing Fortnite. This little kid fighting him.
Oh man! Didn't he actually like? He did have kind of a transforming moment, right?
Yeah.
Where his hair changed, and people were like, "What happened to your hair?" You know. And then I thought he was going to change there too somehow, but I understand why it didn't, and I was like, I was fine with that. And I don't know. I do think it was maybe a joke that went a little bit too far, or maybe it was like a message, right? Because like Thor was like, I would say probably like the biggest like kind of like male sexy icon or whatever in the series. And I know Marvel likes to mess with the themes and stuff. Like they had that one shot with all the women together.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool.
You like that?
I did. It was wow. Okay. Female power. Fuck yeah.
Okay,
that was pretty good.
I was kind of taken out because I was like, wait, how did they all get in the same place at the same time?
Oh yeah, me too. But it was like, yeah, but I thought that was pretty cool. I liked it.
Okay,
it was a good touch.
I'm gonna tell you did.
Yeah, especially with like everything that's going on now. It's like it's pretty good to have like some strong female leads and this kind of thing.
Okay. I'm not gonna say too much, but I thought they did that in Black Panther. So to see it like again, and especially on this battlefield where it was like it seemed like the stakes were like even higher, and like how are they getting around the battlefield like or whatever, just to have them all show up like at the same time. And like I think she even said like a similar line. Sorry, I probably shouldn't do that. Like a similar line where it's like, we're not like she's like not alone or something like that, and then all the women show up or something like that. But it's not a big deal. But like I think in terms of like Thor and the directors, I have read, and like it was a joke. They probably messed around like the whole like kind of like fat image for the guys, which I will admit it's kind of nice, them like showing someone who's like who fluctuates, right? Because like you either have like the really like muscular icon guy, or like maybe the kind of like not so muscular guy, like say Peter Quill, right? I think he's even muscular, but he plays like more of the nerdy sort of guy. and that's great, but you show like, oh yeah, even like the Musker people, they go through periods, and that's what the director said. They wanted to show like how different people deal when they face like stress and stuff, and some people turn to drinking, and some people turn to eating and stuff like that, and that was what Thor was. And out of everybody, that kind of made sense because I don't ever see Iron Man doing that. I don't really see Cap doing that. Although was he ever drunk?
Cap?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe in his movie, in the solo movie, the first Avenger.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
That meeting that he was at with the people, that wasn't for drinking. That was for like loss and stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So what do you think? What did you think of the movie, like just overall then?
Well, the first one, the Endgame, no, the one before Infinity War was really good. I really liked that movie. It was like action packed and everything. Mm-hmm. But I felt like Endgame started really slow.
Yeah.
I was expecting they do kill Thanos at the very beginning and stuff like that, but Thanos destroyed the stones and everything. I felt like that Thanos was good in a way. Like you should have left him be
there. Yeah.
Yeah, like he did what he had to do, I guess. But, I don't agree with his plan. The solution would have been just double the resources in the universe if we really wanted to do this. But at the end, we discovered that. What did you unplug?
I think
Oh, the lights.
The lights. I was worried that we lost that.
Oh yeah, Jake just unplugged the lights with his back, and he's turning on and off again. You're probably gonna burn that thing.
Okay, I'll try to leave it alone.
But yeah, I didn't think. Yeah, you can probably turn on the fan.
No big noise.
Oh yeah, but we only have a couple of minutes left. What? 600 seconds. How much is that in minutes? Oh, 5 minutes. 10 minutes.
Wait, where are you looking?
Here, is this not the count?
Oh no, that's for measures.
Oh, so how many seconds have we done this for?
That's the tempo's 120, so 120 beats per minute. So.
Oh, so this is double what we were supposed to be doing. This is like an hour now.
Yeah, this is I think longer than that. You'd have to do like the math, but
1,900
bars.
Wait, give me the number. So
20 beats per minute. It's 4 beats per measure, so it's really only 30
times
bars per minute, I think. Right?
So it's 1890 times what?
1,900 divided by 30, I think would give you the minutes.
Divided by 30? Wait, I did something wrong. 1,900 divided by 30. So we have been speaking for 63 minutes.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
about an hour.
Yeah, I think we should do 40-minute podcasts.
You like 40 minutes?
Yeah. So if we keep speaking for another 20 minutes, we should have 2 podcasts, right?
We could split it up.
Yeah. So it's 80.
Yeah. That one Hello Internet one, they actually do like a long one. It's like 2.5 and 3. But like the way that they structure it, it kind of goes like in parts and stuff, and it's not just like a long rambling. Like this would probably like be, I would think, not super enjoyable to listen to because it's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
Or maybe, I don't know. So, but they do it for like 3 hours or so. But they do sections, like they even like little. I think it's like called like Brady's Corner, where he talks about airplanes and stuff like that. Because you have your own hobbies and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you unplug the light completely. I think we should do a video form too, because we do so much random shit in here. Just like Jake turning on and off the lights.
That'd be cool.
And we can put it on YouTube and probably get some AdSense out of that.
Yeah, but you need a certain amount of subscribers.
Oh yeah, you need like 4,000 subscribers, and we need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 minutes of view time. 4,000 minutes. Yeah, but like imagine 1,000 people watch a 4-minute video, then that's 4,000 minutes.
Oh, it's not 4,000 minutes of uploaded material.
No, 4,000 minutes of uploading material would be a long ass time. How much is it?
4,000 divided by 60?
Yeah.
Is that like
4,000 divided by? We're engineers. We should be able to do this in 66 hours.
That's a lot, actually, for videos.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe in the future. Always up to suggestions stuff like that. We like to try different things. So
yeah, if you have any suggestions, send them at. Wait, let me find my Twitter. Actually, we can do that.
You have a Twitter?
I do have a Twitter. You don't?
No.
You should make one. No, we are.
Social media. Ladies, people. I only have a Facebook and an Instagram. You can have my Snapchat if you're good friends with me. No, I'm pretty like. I keep my stuff pretty private actually. Yeah. Facebook, yeah. I don't care so much about.
We can make a special Twitter for this and people can follow us there. Yeah, we'll make a special Twitter. We're gonna put it in the description of the video, so go on the sound. So go and follow us on Twitter. And I think that it's gonna be our only communication because this is just an audio thing, and Twitter is more like a just text kind of thing. Yeah. So
we may not do a whole lot there. Maybe like just announcements.
Well, yeah, but
different little tidbits and stuff. So.
Yeah, random stuff. Once we this is more like a general kind of thing. We're just speaking about a bunch of random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should have themes at
topics.
least.
Yeah. Well, I like the question thing. Like so one thing I like to do is actually message the music artists that I really like on Facebook, and the people that I like usually like they're smaller people who manage that stuff kind of like directly. So I'll be able to talk to some of those artists, and I just love doing that because when I get like into an artist and like other stuff, I really like get into it. It's like, man, this like because music like enhances the experiences and stuff. So it's like maybe on a road trip I played a certain artist, and then like my brothers and I will talk about like the trip like a year later, and we're like, yeah, this is great. Or we hear that song, we're like, this is like that, and so it really like adds a lot. So I like to be able to like tell the artist like just how much like I love their stuff and how it made me feel. And like the podcast too, it's like I think it's really cool when you can reach out to those sort of people that well, for one, that are putting this out for you, right? And two, are sharing. Like it's the podcasting's a really kind of interesting medium because there's no like direct communication in the whole thing. But yet it's very community oriented. Like if you go on the Joe Rogan podcast and stuff like that, there are jokes and whatever for like miles long, in the comment sections, and so that's really cool. And when I feel like the Hello Internet podcast, when I listen to that, I feel like I'm with these guys and that I'm a friend, and I think that's a really cool thing that these sort of things can do. Is connect people from all around the world. Like I know that they podcast, they kind of gave a little milestone every time someone from like a different country started listening. They're like, we reached somebody like in Tunisia and Morocco and places like that. So it would be really cool. I don't know how we could do that, but to connect with like people. I really do actually like connecting people in different ways. Like I'm not the most extroverted person in the world. You kind of are in a way. In a way you are.
I feel very comfortable being behind the mic because no one is actually looking at me. I think it would be very different with the camera.
It would be different with the camera. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would be different with the camera.
Yeah, I feel like I'm hiding behind the mic, which is pretty cool. Like, no one... Like, if you don't like me, you at least don't know how I look like.
You can't help me down and beat me up.
And then our Twitter is not going to be our names, so we're going to bleep out that part where I said Jake's email. So... our names, but you don't know like our last names. So there's a gazillion Jakes and a gazillion Jose's. So that's pretty interesting. We can have that one Twitter with the name of the podcast that we need to think about, and that's it. It's not too bad.
Not too bad, Go from there. But yeah, I think that'd be really cool. So if we could talk about different stuff, because I do like. When people bring up different stuff, like, all my friends are like engineering people. And I do love the sciences. I can go into science for whatever. Like, even all of your like projects and stuff that you work on, where it's like I'm doing this, is like, man, that's really cool. And that's why I asked for like the machine learning stuff. Because it's like I'd like to learn that, and maybe I can do something with it. But like all the other stuff too, it's like I love the arts. It's like in the music, like I've said, and like how do you do that? And talking about different theories and. Even just like, I don't know what it is, but I like meeting people like once and then like never seeing them. Like,
listen to their story and then just let them go.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but like, I'll see him like a couple times. I actually really do like seeing him. Like the one guy working over in the Stinson Ceramic building at Notre Dame, right? He's just like a cleaning maintenance worker guy, He was interested in the rowing project that was over there. He was like just kind of odd at it. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I talked to him, and learned that he's like from kind of like communistic country, and he had to leave because they control speech and all that stuff. He didn't like it, and I talked to him for like maybe 15 minutes, and like that was really cool. Then I saw him again. I was like, hey, Siphone, how you doing? Shout out to Siphone, and that's really cool. And then one time I was walking down by the Riverwalk,
in Mishawaka, and I ran across a guy that was fishing with his wife. Talked to them. They also were from Notre Dame. He worked like in the maintenance department. And he's telling me all about how he had a back surgery. He's retired at 52 now. They catch a fish, they give him over to their neighbor Jenny and stuff. And I was like, that. I like that stuff. That's like what life's about, I think. You know? Is like making like connections like that, because like you can only be friends with so many people, But it's nice to think that to see that there are like a lot of nice people out there.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I think.
You want me done?
Yeah, I think we should make it like an intro now, like, and then just cut it and put it in the front, and then put like an intro music kind of thing, and then actually go into the conversation.
Okay.
I just think that's a good idea.
We could do that. So theme song right now.
No. So I think we should say, well, welcome to our first podcast, and second, because it's going to be two-parter podcast, because we went way too far. I thought that the bars were the seconds. But now that I actually look at it and think about it, I'm an idiot, and it's not actually it. We're going to be talking about a lot of different stuff. This is a very mixed podcast. Mm-hmm. I don't think we have like a timeline in this one. But if you like this, send us a tweet we're going to have a Twitter in the description. And then if you don't, and you would like something more like one topic, and just go with that one topic throughout the whole time, then tell us that too. You tell us what you prefer, and then we can adjust. I think it's pretty reasonable. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Well, roll the intro music.
Roll the intro music right now.
That's pretty good, right? And then we should make an intro for the second podcast, because we're gonna have two of them.
Oh, the second part,
because this is two parts, right? The one podcast and the next one. So we need to make an intro for the next one too. So welcome to our second podcast that we recorded at the exact same spot. We just talked shit for a couple of minutes before starting this thing. We decided we were going to say roll the intro music after saying a little comment about the podcast. Mm-hmm. And this one is just like the first one. It's just a mess of stuff. There's nothing more than just two friends talking. And that's pretty much it.
Yep. Just a test run to see how things go.
Yep.
So I think it went pretty well. Like, I think it was pretty natural. Like, we talk pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Roll the intro music.
Roll the intro music.
There we go. Boom. Okay, how do we stop this?
Okay. So just click the red button.